Ho, ho, ho! Welcome back everyone to another video. Still haven't got my light sorted, but we do have a little bit of a workaround, so hope you're liking it. This is the new gig I'm staying at right now, temporary accommodation. Looks pretty sweet, and it is actually pretty sweet. Much better than where we were before, barring the internet. But I've been gone for a while, and I've been trying to get some uploads in here and there, and it's taken me about a couple of hours to upload stuff. So it's a pain in the ass, but we are still managing. But of course, being gone for a while, I've been checking out to see what's new. And of course, Doom has been doing the rounds. Doom, the Dark Ages, aka Day Zero, has been announced to be coming at the actual, Xbox Showcase, which is on 9th June and is going to be showcasing a lot of games. Now, obviously, we are still waiting for that PlayStation Showcase, but as Jez Gordon says here, maybe the rumored PlayStation Showcase is actually just the Xbox Showcase. And obviously Gaz is not happy with that response, because all that is doing is fueling fire. And at the end of the day, if you've got people like Jez now pretty much turning around and saying this, it's going to be all over the place, right? It's not doing anyone a favor. It's not doing the situation any favor. It is literally just engagement farming. And honestly, at this point, I just don't know what Xbox can do to turn things around. But as we can see here, Nate the Hate, who also got almost everything wrong last year, has said to expand on the report with some additional information. Doom, the Dark Ages will be announced at the Xbox Games Showcase, which will drop day one for Xbox Game Pass next month, and will be revealed as a multi-platform release. Yes, it's coming to PlayStation 5. Now, this was always in contention to happen, but as we can see here, future Bethesda games will be on other consoles on a case-by-case basis. And they pretty much say in this article, which I will link in the description below, that, anything that's already an existing IP will be on, will have the potential to be on other platforms. Now, obviously, this opens up the talk about, Elder Scrolls 6 and other games. Obviously, Fable was always an Xbox game, so that should remain Xbox exclusive. But when we're talking about Elder Scrolls 6, for example, that has the potential to go elsewhere. But obviously, we can only take Nate the Hate so far, because he was 100% sure last year that Starfield was coming to PlayStation and it didn't. And then he had to come out, make an apology, block his Twitter account, and pretty much go into hiding like they always do. But of course, stuff like this doesn't help and it doesn't do anything. Now, I personally am super excited for Doom. It's been a while since I played a Doom game, but Jez actually corroborates this. Breaking, the new Doom is called The Dark Ages, and I can corroborate that it's going multi-platform too. So at this point, I think it's safe to assume that it is. But there is a problem here, right? There is a real big problem here, and it's the vision that Microsoft has. What is that vision? Where is it that they're going? Do they want to go multiple? Now, we had this discussion in a stream not too long ago where we watched Paris in his expose talking about it. They just need to go balls deep and just go all in. They just need to pick a lane and go. Hovering about, is not working for them. It's not bringing confidence. It's not bringing anything to the table. And all it's doing is pushing more and more people away. Now, obviously, we know that there's a new console coming. This console is going to, in my opinion, just be a almost PC at this point. It's going to have a dual system boot, in my opinion. It's going to have Windows on one side that will basically be a skin that will boot up Steam. And then you're going to have obviously the Xbox side of things. But if you're going the way of Steam and you're putting Steam onto Xbox, at that point, why do you need anyone else putting games on Xbox? Why do you need anyone developing a game for Xbox? All you need to do is have that, I guess you're going to have that specification for the Xbox console PC hybrid, because at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to upgrade it, at least in the meantime, and they'll have profiles like I've always been saying, and the same will be for the handheld. But if everything's going to be running through Steam now, and with the news that Microsoft wanting to invest or buy in Steam, that makes things a lot more interesting. Now, of course, where does that leave Xbox as a console, as a brand? You know, where does that leave the fans who just want to know what is going on? Doom is the type of game. Now, we obviously know that they did talk about things, you know, saying that existing IPs will be multi-platform. This is why the notion of Elder Scrolls 6 was so big and where it was going. Of course, Starfield is not an existing IP. Will that be moving over? Hi-Fi Rush was not an existing IP, but that went over. So there's a lot of contention here as to where this is all going. Now, the June 9th showcase, is going to be something big. Now, Doom is a massive title, and everyone that loves Doom, and you know, it's when I say everyone loves Doom, it's going to be big. It's supposed to be set in medieval ages. Now, I hope this doesn't actually mean that it's going to be just based on swords and axes and clubs and, you know, stuff like that. I actually want guns. When you think of Doom, you think of the BFG, you think of shotguns, you think of weapons, projectiles, you think of guns. That's it. And if they remove that from Doom, that's not going to be a great outlook for this, especially considering this is probably one of the first games being developed under Microsoft from scratch, potentially. But where does this leave Xbox? Where does this leave them trying to push that needle? They keep repeating, we are not happy with the number of consoles sold. That is something that comes up in earnings calls time and time again. Yet they are doing everything in their power to make sure they don't sell those consoles. Having Game Pass there dangling down isn't the carrot to sell Xbox. It's the other way round. You use the Xbox console as a carrot to sell Game Pass. Otherwise, the whole TV adverts of, you know, Samsung adverts where it says no console needed, the messaging is so befuddled at this point, right? Now, I actually genuinely assumed that Doom was going to be exclusive, or at least a timed exclusive on Xbox for maybe a year or two even. That seems to not be the case now. And, you know, you're seeing Jez here, and I can corroborate that it's going multi-platform too. Now, obviously, if we go back to this article here, this article was written in September 21, 2020, where games on a case-by-case basis would be going. So Bethesda games were always on a case-by-case basis, and one of those criterias was if it was a pre-existing IP. But Hi-Fi Rush has already made done with that and made away with that. Obviously, Deathloop and Ghostwire were, you know, they had an exclusive contract, so they remained. But as you can see here, however, future games from veteran studios will release on PC and Xbox and other platforms on a case-by-case basis. So they never ever actually promised full exclusivity with Bethesda games. Now, obviously, there is the quote,
but if we're an Xbox customer, the thing I want you to know is this is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists.
That was a dumb thing to say, and that got kind of superseded by the FTC trial anyway. So that statement is completely irrelevant. But, you know, this just doesn't make any sense to me. If you want to sell consoles, you want to keep your biggest games on your platform. But if this is going multi-platform, I mean, all this talk is doing now is bringing up where is the best place to play Doom. On the PS5, the PS5 Pro, Xbox Series X, PC, and the clear answer to this is PC. If you have a powerful PC that can run these games, like a 3090 Ti, 4080, a 4090, that's the best place to play. That's a no-brainer. You pay for you're getting what you pay for. So even the PS5 Pro is just a paperweight when it comes to PC, you know, prowess. But if you want to move the needle for your console sales, this is not it. And I just don't understand. Now we have this over here. And this is posted over here by Lord Class Drive. This was, you know, 5 months ago, right? 5 months ago, these predictions, these are what was said. Xbox will announce their multi-platform plans late next month or right before the fiscal year ends, which they kind of did, but they've not gone full third party. I guess Xbox is fully going multi-platform and more third-party-ish. A few of the later stuff they originally planned as exclusives have been completely swapped for multi-platform releases, and also in talks with some manufacturers to make their version of Xbox consoles. Now, this is the interesting one, them actually deciding whether, I mean, if this happens, then at the end of the day, the Xbox consoles are just going to be PCs, and you're going to have different levels of Xbox consoles with different varying powers, unless they all have to be the same with a different shell design. I can't imagine that. But if the different manufacturers are going to make their version of Xbox consoles, it's just a PC. At that point, just go buy a PC. And that's the end of Xbox, right? As a brand, as a console, well, not the brand, but as a console, that'll be the end of that. If the moment they do this, I just don't see it. At that point, anyone can make an Xbox, and there's going to be so many different variations and specs for an Xbox. It's just going to be a pre-built PC with a set profile. Only their consoles, like how there's third-party controllers, there are pretty much going to be official third-party consoles that can run Xbox games. Again, this is referring to this one up top. That one doesn't have a tick. These two haven't been done yet or been announced. So this one, they say ID Software's next game is no longer an Xbox exclusive and will be multi-platform. This was 5 months ago. So either this person works for Microsoft or knows someone quite knowingly inside Microsoft. Either way, they have the inside information. Bethesda's next few games were exclusive, have also been pushed to be multi-platform instead. Flight Sim will be multi-platform, and a few other older first-party IPs are going to be multi-platform. Indiana Jones it's a little weird because he's modeled after Harrison Ford to the full extent, but being voiced by Troy Baker. Now, this was actually revealed before the actual Developers Direct, which was on the 29th. So as you can see here, this is the 15th. This was like 9 days before the actual Developers Direct. So this was all called out. Most of the game is also first person, including whip combat. And I think that's all there is for this. Yeah, there is. So it's clear to see here that a lot of this information has been known for a while, and Microsoft has been sitting on it. Now, the only ones that really haven't come out revealed yet is Flight Sim, which may be announced during the Xbox showcase, and of course the multi versions of the Xbox console, you know, where third-party companies like Asus and, you know, MSI can actually make their own consoles and put them out there with varying skill, you know, varying power levels. At that point, it's going to kind of suck if you go and spend 400 quid on a console, and then a week later, let's say you go and buy an Xbox branded you go buy the Xbox console, right? And it's 400 quid, and you're like, yes, I'm happy with this. And then 2 weeks later, Asus comes and goes, hey, look at this. We are doing 80% more powerful with better fidelity for £300 more. You are going to be pissed. At that point, I just don't see how this can work. I genuinely cannot see how this can work. All I can see this doing is pushing everyone to PC. That's it. And Microsoft coming out of the race. This doesn't make sense. Microsoft really need to come out now and start talking. Obviously, they're not going to talk, and I'm going to get a lot of shit for this, but Doom is the type of game, in my opinion, that would sell consoles. And making this exclusive and making games of this ilk exclusive to the Xbox console are what you want in order to sell your platform. But if you're making these games multi-plat and you're releasing Halo once every 10 years, you're releasing Gears once every 15 years, you are releasing Forza once every 5 years, basically one generation at a time, or sometimes even 2 generations, you're not going in the direction that you want to go into. I don't know, folks. I'm just looking at it and being as real as possible. I'm really excited for the Xbox showcase on June 9th. There's going to be a ton of games there, and, you know, all of them are going to be day one on Game Pass. So regardless of how you swing, how you look at things, even if the games are going elsewhere, as a Game Pass owner, you will be having them day one on your subscription to play, making Game Pass still the best place to play games. Call of Duty will be day one, but I don't know, this just doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel right. I get why it's going multi-platform. Doom is pretty much a franchise that's been multi-plat forever. And, well, I mean, I guess you could say the same thing about Spider-Man, right? That was multi-plat forever, and now it's exclusive to PlayStation. I guess you can say the same thing, but I don't know. It just feels icky. It feels icky. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have the discussion. But I'm seeing a lot of negativity around Xbox at the moment. I mean, Hellblade 2 just came out, and I'm going to have my thoughts and verdicts on that coming soon. But this feels icky. I don't know why it feels icky, but it does feel icky. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that discussion, and I'll see you in the next one. Remain legend.